I, 28 female, was raised by super religious parents. It was a fight to be able to go to a normal college and not a Christian one with weird rules. When I did that, they said they wouldn't be paying for my schooling until I come back to the right path. After struggling for a couple of months, a friend told me that the club she was working at was hiring. I've been dancing my whole life and have a good figure, so I was hired pretty fast. A few months in, I dropped out of college because I was making serious money, about $3,000 for a bad week and $11,000 for a really good one. When my parents found out, they disowned me. The same goes for all of my extended family except for 2 cousins. Fast forward 9 years, I own my house outright, a Tesla, don't have debt. I also own an apartment building that I rent. My career has a short lifespan, and investments. Now my parents contacted me. Apparently my father lost his business during global issue. My mother has been a stay-at-home mom. They declared bankruptcy and are really struggling. They live in an old camper. Also, apparently my mom is diabetic now and my dad has always had heart problems. They wanted my help. I said no, I don't have parents anymore. And furthermore, according to their religion and church, my money was earned while sinning, so to use it is to damn your soul to the bad place, and I really didn't want that for them. So my mom started crying, and my dad said they didn't know where they went wrong with me. That was the last of it from them. A couple of aunts and uncles called, but they changed their family helps family tune very fast when I asked why they weren't helping them themselves. But now, a couple of weeks later, I am starting to feel like I was an idiot to them. Because a month's income would really make a big change for them, but I won't even miss it that bad. So, am I the idiot? Not the idiot. They don't get to say, your money is sinful, you're not our daughter, and then come begging for a handout almost a decade later when their finances are messed. You can't have it both ways, parents. They decided their faith and religion were more important than their child, and they could continue living with that decision. Yeah, I mean, they didn't even apologize, and they're expecting you to just take care of them like they were the world's best parents. Now, on the other hand, if a month's income can give you peace of mind, then go ahead, count it as charity and get good karma. How likely are they to leave you alone after you throw a couple of $1,000s at them? It sounds like you need to figure out beforehand what outcome you want. The ball is in your court. I just think it's really likely that they will become more aggressive with their demands, given how they perceive you as property rather than as a person. Set yourself some good boundaries and don't cross them. So, not the idiot, OP. Let them know they're in your thoughts and prayers. You are the idiot. If one has the means to help one's parents and doesn't, one is almost always the idiot. This is your chance to right a great wrong. You did not cause this wrong. The blame lies squarely at your parents' feet. They do not deserve your kindness or help, which would make you helping them so much more wonderful. So do a remarkable thing and throw them at least a lifeline. In the end, you'll be glad that you did. Dude, OP doesn't owe their parents anything. You shouldn't be on a moral high horse right now, and honest to God, it sounds like OP was abused via religious trauma. When you disown someone, you don't get to take it back just because you need money. They deserve nothing and can sleep in the bed they made. Actions have consequences, and they deserve nothing from OP. My husband's friend got married a few days ago. I couldn't go because of work, and my husband said the wedding was child-free and his family was all attending, so he asked me to take time off work and stay at home with my stepson. I already said no and suggested he get a babysitter, but he said no babysitters because my stepson tends to act out with them and cause trouble, but he adores me and we both get along well. I told my husband work is important and I can't take time off. He begged and pleaded, but I said it wouldn't happen. He said fine, he'd figure it out. But the day of the wedding I discovered that he had left my stepson home. I called his phone, and he answered telling me to miss work and just stay with my stepson. I said no, and he needed to deal with the situation he had caused. He said no, I threatened to drop his son off at the wedding, and he told me to suck it up. I got dressed and drove my stepson to the wedding. The second my husband saw us, he went off on me. I told him I was late and was about to leave. He said I couldn't leave his son there, they'd both be kicked out, but I turned around and walked out after telling him it was his problem. I left for work, and after I got back later, he blew up at me, saying I failed to do one thing he asked and behaved pathetically. I said that he put me in this situation, and I was feeling helpless and pushed. He said that he couldn't believe I was willing to dish my stepson and said that I'm not stepmom material and have no sense of responsibility whatsoever. We haven't been on good terms since then, and he keeps on blaming me that he had to leave the wedding and go home with his son. Oh wow, not the idiot. You know this isn't going to work out, right? He blamed you for what he did. He ditched his son without having a plan in place for somebody to watch him. You weren't going to the wedding because you had to work. If you'd been able to take off work, you would have gone to the wedding, and he would have needed to find someone to watch his son. I'm assuming you married him to be his wife, not to be his son's stepmom. I would leave and tell him to suck it up. He just sneaky ditched his child with someone assuming they'd skip work, and you're the irresponsible person? Are you kidding me? Do not get pregnant. This is what he thinks women are for when there are kids around. He's neither husband nor father material and has no sense of responsibility toward his son and expects you to have no sense of responsibility toward you or your job. Everyone's the idiot here except for the kid. You both were horrible to him. The husband is an idiot for just leaving his son with you after he was told no numerous times, but I think you're also an idiot for using the son as a prop. You took him all the way there to drop him off. It would have been a better use of time to find a sitter last minute and deal with your husband afterward. I have no idea how old the stepson is, but that sounds so embarrassing to be dragged to a wedding and handed off like a burden to his dad, who then had to leave with him. He shouldn't be punished for what his dad did. My husband is on the bigger side, but it doesn't matter. I love him more for that. But he does have some medical issues arising from it, which is why I'm mentioning it. Worrying for him, I've been making him and I get routine medical checkups. This year, when we got it checked, his blood sugar was severely high, to the point where the doctor suggested that if we don't mitigate his eating habits and sugar consumption, it might develop into diabetes, and we might need to purchase insulin. Ever since then, I've been paranoid as heck. I'm the only one working as of now. I don't make that much, but a comfortable amount to get us both through. Husband isn't working due to his bad previous working experience. He stays at home and looks after our pets. However, that also means that he's consuming more than usual and buying many candies and chocolates. He has a really bad addiction to sweets, which I've been trying to reduce for so long. I've switched completely to stevia, sugar alternative, and shop for sugar-free desserts for him, but he doesn't like the taste and purchases high-sugar desserts without me knowing. Besides that, I've also found out that I'm pregnant, and I can't juggle both his medical issues and the newborn at the same time. When I came home last Monday, I found heaps of gummies sitting in my fridge, and after asking him where they came from, he told me that he purchased them from a bulk seller. I was astonished and told him that this was the last time I would allow it, and he couldn't be doing this anymore. That is until yesterday. I received a subscription box that was delivered to our house from Jackie's Chocolatier. I was dumbfounded and realized that although I was wasting my own money, I would throw it away. I then confronted my husband and told him that if he kept purchasing chocolates like this, I had no option but to throw them away. That resulted in a full-blown argument, and he told me regardless of whether or not I threw it away, he was going to buy it and that I was policing his life. I am not. I'm gravely concerned for his health. Please tell me I'm not being crazy here. His health is in jeopardy, and I can't sit back and watch him get diabetes and add on insulin costs to our already tight budget. Plus, if anything, it's my money being wasted. I also feel like an idiot because I should have given it away rather than thrown it away. You cannot force an idiot to quit. Read that again. He has to want to quit for himself. No amount of you arguing or throwing away will stop his obsession until he chooses for himself that it is time for a change. Not the idiot, but you're fighting a losing battle here. It sounds like you earn the money, so perhaps limit his access so he doesn't have the means to buy. Not the idiot, he's using you. What will happen when the baby comes? You will be a single parent with 2 kids, so at least stop his free access to your money. Also, I'm wondering exactly why you're with this guy. What does bad previous work experience mean exactly? And if he doesn't have a job, how is he getting money? Bad work experience. They wanted him to work, and he wanted to sit at home and eat bonbons. My dear, you are not the idiot. He is not working, so he's not contributing to the household finances. He is in danger of becoming diabetic. You are pregnant, and you can't count on him for support. I would be very clear with him. Money is tight, you have a baby on the way, it's his life, sure. But if he wishes to continue to eat his way into diabetes, you will in no way be responsible for any future insulin costs. He now has adult choices about his life and work and money arrangements. How about you get yourself some self-respect and kick out this useless grown child who leeches off you and acts like he's entitled to? Why does he have access to your money at all? Stop being ridiculous and start seeing him for what he is, a lazy jerk. Boo-hoo, he doesn't like his job. Guess what? That doesn't make you responsible for him. He gets a new job like all of us do when we're not happy. You are the idiot for allowing yourself to be used. Ever since my brother, 30, moved out to start living with his family in another city, I, 25 male, have been living alone in my parents' house. Our parents go to another country to work and visit 2 or 3 times a year. My brother has twin boys, toddlers, and brings them over almost every week. He leaves them to stay overnight, usually Friday or Saturday and Sunday, with me so he can have some fun with his wifey. I love my nephews and don't mind babysitting them at all, but they can be a little too much sometimes. So the other weekend when they brought them over, Tara, brother's wife, told me that they are apparently fully potty trained, had no accidents whatsoever, and no longer need to wear diapers in bed. I did what I was told, and as you can guess, they had an accident in my bed. I'm not sure if both of them did it, or just one, but both of them were soaking wet. Apart from wet sheets and clothes, no bigger damage was done. For some reason, I never took the plastic wrapping around the mattress. I told Tara what happened, and she just said that accidents happen, and that I should have made them go to the bathroom and not give them anything to drink before going to bed. Last weekend, they brought them again. I asked Tara if she brought diapers with them, and she said, with raised voice, "It was an accident, it won't happen again, trust me," and ran back to the car. Night came, and I was like, screw it, I don't want to deal with mess again. So apart from one soggy diaper, it went great until I told Tara about it. She literally yelled at me, saying that I messed up for forcing her children to wear diapers, that it will bring back the bad habits, and it wouldn't be a big deal if they had an accident in bed again. I tried reasoning with her, but she just called me a dumb idiot before saying that she'll never bring the kids again and storming off to the car. I looked at my brother, who was standing nearby, and it seemed like he was trying hard to keep a straight face. He followed after her, and when he got to the car he yelled, "See you next week." Am I the idiot? Why do you even do this? You need to be out with your friends on the weekends, not providing a free babysitting and butt-wiping service for your lazy brother and sister-in-law. I never thought of dumping my kids every weekend on my family, let alone deciding it was fine to let them pee the bed and throw a fit when someone found a solution. Right? The entitlement of those two. I have 2 kids and can't imagine getting rid of them every weekend just to have fun. Like, what? OP needs to stop babysitting and set some boundaries. Like, I get it, he wants to be a good uncle and help out, but that's just way too much. Not the idiot, but your brother and sister-in-law are freaking idiots. They decided to have those kids, and now they should start parenting their darn kids. They aren't things that you can just get rid of on the weekends and decide to be child-free. That's not how it works. OP, seriously, stop babysitting overnights, at least for now. Your brother is a coward who can't stand up to you. I, 48 female, have 5 kids. My twin boys are my triplets, 2 boys and a girl. Currently, the older twins share a room. The younger twins have a room and the girl has a room. All kids could have their own room, but they chose to share. This year, my boys all came together. They asked if they could all pool their birthday money for a room makeover. They want their beds and clothing in one room and desks in another room, for a gamer's paradise, and have been saving last year's birthday presents and their Christmas money from the last 2 years. I painted their gaming room a dark grey with leftover paint from my parents' renovation, but added LEDs as the main light source on the ceiling and under the desks and on each shelf. Made the closets into a built-in bookshelf for video games and their figurines, along with wall shelves, added a couple of mini fridges for drinks, a mini snacks vending machine, and painted their desks to match. Then changed their sleeping and clothing arrangement. I did not spend any additional money outside of the budget, and the boys all helped with the manual labour of moving stuff and painting furniture that my daughter did witness. Now my daughter is jealous I didn't do her room as well. We explained that the boys have been saving money and birthday and Christmas presents, and she asked to make a total room makeover plan too, so we did, and it would cost about the same as what the boys did. She wanted all new furniture along with painting it and crafting setup. I told her if she wanted exactly this room, she would need to contribute X amount of dollars, and even come up with a plan if she wanted to do extra chores, All kids get this opportunity, but if she didn't want new furniture, we could repurpose the old stuff we have between storage and what's currently in there, and she could afford it this year. My husband thinks I'm not being fair to her because there were 4 boys to save money and there's only one of her. I said we shouldn't be picking favourites and all kids should be at the same standard. And yes, there's one of her, but I didn't buy the boys any new furniture and she wants all new stuff, not renovated. Well, we were having a family dinner with my parents and my daughter asked Grandpa for money because I wasn't being fair and favouring the boys. I stopped that immediately and told my dad the entire story. Now my family is split on the verdict. My mom says I'm the idiot for the same reason as my husband, but my dad says I'm teaching her a valuable lesson on budgeting and repurposing. So my husband and I, who regularly frequent here, are wondering, am I the idiot for keeping my daughter at the same standard as my boys? You are the idiot. I think your husband makes a good point. 4 people can save up quicker than 1 and can make 4 times one person's income. It's great that the boys chose to share, but realistically, this isn't a choice for the teenage girl. It's not her fault she isn't a boy and can't, therefore, share with a boy. With this in mind, I disagree that she's being treated fairly. I think asking her to save a quarter would be reasonable, as each of the boys did. You are the idiot. I can see where you're coming from. Still, from her perspective, she's the only girl. She's excluded from the gaming paradise because of her gender, excluded from sharing a room because of her gender, and now she's excluded from the decorating and planning like her brothers did, with a lot of help from you. I'm not really surprised she's jealous. Her 4 brothers just worked on a really cool project with her parents, getting the bedrooms and gaming area they want while she's basically sidelined. I can see why it feels really unfair to her. Did you notice that OP referred to having 2 sets of twins and a girl, despite the girl literally being a triplet of one of those pairs of boys? I can't imagine how excluded she probably feels in that household. I expect there's more going on in that than just a gaming room.